Republican Florida Governor Ron DeSantis admitted this week during an interview with a Miami news outlet that his predecessor's administration, I guess, intentionally sabotaged the state's unemployment system, making it more difficult and more cumbersome for individuals in the state of Florida to actually apply for unemployment in the state. Now, for those of you familiar with Florida politics, Ron DeSantis' predecessor was in fact Rick Scott, another Republican, just like DeSantis. And Rick Scott actually now serves as a senator, a U.S. senator from the state of Florida. And here we have a sitting Republican governor telling us that this guy is the one who sabotaged the millions of people who have attempted to apply for unemployment during the pandemic. He's the reason everything is so screwy. Except DeSantis did go out of his way to say, I don't know if it was him personally, but I do know that, yes, somebody from that administration, based on what I've seen, has intentionally made this happen. Here's the quote from DeSantis himself here. I think that was the animating philosophy. I mean, having studied how it was internally constructed, I think the goal was for whoever designed it. It was, let's put as many kind of pointless roadblocks along the way so people just say, oh, the hell with it, I'm not going to do that. And, for me, let's decide on what the benefit is and let's get it out as efficiently as possible. We shouldn't necessarily do these roadblocks to do it. So we have cleared a lot of those. Then he was asked, like, hey, you do realize that you're talking about a sitting U.S. senator from your state and another Republican, right? This isn't a Democrat you're pinning this on. And so DeSantis then says, I'm not sure if it was his, but I think definitely in terms of how it was internally constructed, it was definitely done in a way to lead to the least number of claims being paid out. So he's like, well, I don't know if this guy did it personally. I mean, I don't know if Rick Scott was the guy sitting there programming the state's unemployment website. But yeah, they definitely 100% did it. Like, what are you trying to say, DeSantis? Now, look, I agree with you, man. I agree with you 100%. You're right. Rick Scott's administration did program this in a way to put up these needless roadblocks to prevent people from filing unemployment, so it looked like the state of Florida was doing better than it actually was. That's the whole point of this. If fewer people receive unemployment benefits, fewer people are counted as such, and it makes your state look like it's doing better than it actually is, while you don't let anybody know that you're actually sabotaging it so fewer people can actually get the benefits. DeSantis was perfectly fine with this system, by the way, up until it became a massive problem and started garnering national headlines. That's when he decided, oh crap, I have to do something about this. I can't just sit back and say, haha, my state's doing great on paper, but not in reality, when suddenly you're overloaded with 1 million people and the national media starts to pay attention. That's what DeSantis has a problem with. Not that it exists. He was fine with it for 1.5 years in office before any of this happened. But suddenly people started paying attention. Suddenly the unemployment numbers skyrocketed. And suddenly he was forced into a position where he had to do something. He had to take ownership. And the first thing he does, much like his idol Donald Trump, is find someone else, anyone else to blame, regardless of the political damage that could do to that person, Rick Scott, in their future. That, to me, is the most delicious part of all of this. Both DeSantis and Rick Scott can run for office again. But it's going to be hard when somebody brings up in a couple years, hey, remember when you blamed this guy for doing all this horrible stuff? Why should we vote for him now? Because you said he's awful. Yeah, that's going to be a hell of a lot of fun.